Welcome, Internet Nomad. Today I'm going to talk about a childhood favorite that I never got to replay. So my godfather was a Microsoft fan. He owned every Xbox console until he passed. I miss him every day. Next month I'm covering Halo, and I would like to share more about my godfather in that video. As a kid we would play Halo and other Xbox games. One of them was Toejam and Earl 3. As a kid who was just starting to get into hip hop, this game was so cool. I remember the loading screens were awesome, my favorite being the rap from Letitia. I would eventually formally introduce to rap with CDs my older brother would leave in our bedroom. Toejam and Earl 3 did inspire me to dive into the genre. This was one of my favorite games to play as a kid. It was a great game, and I could still remember the opening cutscene. This game is funny as hell. The whole Earl being a lovable fat dude and Toejam being the arrogant jock type was a good dynamic. Earl was always the slow one, which creates a lot of humor. I think it was a great decision to add Letitia to the game. She is the most level-headed and brings a female counter to the two dudes. The whole dynamic of Toejam trying to date Letitia, but she isn't having it, is great stuff. The game has a cool story and a controversial past. The final boss, the Anti-Funk, was originally going to be a KKK member. This would make the anti-racism message very clear. This would change in development with a more subtle message still being in the game. I remember spending days trying to beat the final boss. The magical day I saw the last cutscene was amazing. I would return to that game to try and beat it as much as kid me could. The characters were memorable, one of my favorite being Alien in a human suit. The reason I don't have the game now is because my godmother had a friend with a disability. She wanted to give him a console to play. She asked us if she could give him the original Xbox. Since we got all the other consoles, we agreed and parted with the system. I was tempted to buy a copy of this game, but the prices are too high. I also would need an original Xbox since it's one of the games stranded on that console. I hoped for this game to get a proper re-release, but my dreams never came true. So today I'm going to share my tales on this awesome game. The game is divided into worlds. Each world has plenty of levels. To unlock them, you need to collect a certain number of an object. Most doors need keys, which are the equivalent of notes in Banjo. Then there are missions within levels that give you microphones. These missions usually involve talking to the alien in a human suit, where he will give you a gift related to an enemy in that level. For an early example, you might get pom-poms for a cheerleader, so you have to funkify all the cheerleaders in the level until you find the one that needs pom-poms. There's no indication, so just funkify them all. The enemies in this game could be subdued, which is called funkify. There's two ways to funkify. One is a melee attack where you chop and a burst of energy comes out. This only works on enemies that are lower level than you. To level up, you need to collect points dropped from successful funkified enemies. The progression is indicated by a karate belt. The other way to funkify enemies is by using notes. These notes could be found in levels. They are a resource that could be used to funkify enemies no matter the level. These notes are limited. They might respawn, but I don't remember. I remember running low on some levels, but you always had enough to keep going. Also, they have range. They will be needed since enemies in areas tend to have a higher level dependent on the type. Another aspect of this game is presents. When you collect a present, they become a unique box. Each design holds a different effect. My favorites are the wings allowing you to get to different parts of the level, and the bouncy shoes that are great for travel. Presents can be found around the world. Most presents won't be labeled, but you could pay for them to be revealed. Also, some presents can be bought from mailboxes. Just be careful because in later levels, mailboxes could be enemies. There's these records to find. They are needed to unlock the final boss level. They are spread throughout each world. The worlds are typical Mario type themes. You start out on a grassy level. There's a city, desert, snowy, and water zone. While I cannot play the original, I have been able to play the Sega Dreamcast version. Basically, it leaked the original game concept of Toejam and Earl was found. The creators gave the blessing for people to download and play. It is quite different from the final Xbox game. It plays similarly to the first Toejam and Earl. There's a level structure where the goal is to find an elevator to go up a level. The game has similar graphics to the Xbox game, but only the attack method is Funkify notes. I haven't beaten this version, but I'm going to try and beat every Toejam and Earl game in the future. I hope Sega releases a new collection of Sega Genesis, because that's how I play Toejam and Earl, and I would like others to play them. If you have a Switch, they're included in the Sega Genesis app. I never beaten any game besides 3. I'm going to try, but I rage quit several times. Those old games had the difficult charm. Farewell, Internet Nomad, until we meet again.